Hey there, Jessica here with Crochet It Creations, and today we are going to be working a Chapstick Keychain Wristlet. So you can see here it has a pocket for the chapstick, and then it is made in a circle with a keyring. So supplies that are needed will be I grabbed the G, hold on. You need an F 3.75 millimeter crochet hook and some medium worsted weight yarn. This is made with keyring cotton cakes yarn, which is a cotton acrylic blend. I'm just going to be working a regular acrylic yarn right now. I love this yarn by Hobby Lobby, and we also need a key ring. You can find these at your local Walmart store or just about any craft stores. You will also need a tapestry needle to sew the pocket together and to sew it across the bottom here. So we're going to start off by making a slip knot. All right, now you're ready to make your first row. Okay, to start, chain 5, single crochet and second chain from hook. So there's the first chain, here's the second. Single crochet in each chain across. Chain 1, turn, and single crochet in each stitch across. Your gauge for this pattern will be 4 single crochet stitches by 4 rows in 1 inch. So right now it is about 1 inch across. So you're going to just continue to chain 1, single crochet across as you turn for each row. Okay, continue to work this for 58 rows. Okay, so now that I have finished my 58 rows, I'm going to go ahead and finish it off. So take and cut a long strand because you're going to use this to sew the keyring on. So go ahead and finish that off. This rectangle should measure about 12 inches. And if you put your chapstick up against there, your chapstick should measure about 12 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that lines up pretty well. So go ahead and attach your keyring. Take the chapstick off. So we're going to overlap by 12 rows to make a pocket. So as you can see, I just took I'll put that on that side. So here is so it's going to overlap. Actually, the keyring needs to. I'm using this tail on the inside, so I'm putting the keyring on the other side. So if you just noticed that I switched it back and forth. So I'm going to measure 12 rows. So count 12 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm going to go through the top row there and then 12 row there. So it really doesn't matter which side is on top of which. I just want my long tail here to be on the inside because I'm going to use that for sewing. So if you would have used a long tail to start with, you could use that side, or if you want to just get a new piece of yarn to sew with, you can do that too. It really doesn't matter. So what I'm doing is placing stitch markers. So I didn't tell you in the beginning, but you do need stitch markers, bobby pins, safety pins, anything to hold these two together, just so you can keep them lined up. And I ordered these stitch markers off of Amazon. You can get a bag of them for fairly cheap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm just making sure that my rows line up because I'm going to be single crocheting these together when I do a border. So same thing on the other side. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. So my key ring is here on this side with my long tail because I'm going to do my sewing. So I have a wide eye needle I'm going to attach. I like to start off by sewing this pocket closed first. So just take, hopefully you can see this okay, so just take this and sew the pocket closed. So this is the bottom of the pocket that will hold the chapstick. So you're just sewing it across that row 12. All right, and then take, so you want this key ring, so this is the bottom of the key ring. See how it's pretty tight? It's sewn right here, tight against the key ring so it's not moving around. So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm actually going to bring my needle to the front. Okay, so I'm going to take and sew it straight across here to get it tight around my key ring. Hope this is making sense. I am not the greatest sewer. I can crochet and teach all day long, but sewing I kind of just make it work. So you might want to do that across that way and then come back. As you can see, we're sewing this down. Oh, I guess I'm off the camera. As you can see, we're sewing this down so it doesn't move a whole lot or go up and down the keychain. Okay. And take and weave that. Actually, you can kind of leave it like that and then you can single crochet over it. All right, so we have the key rings on here. It's secure. We have a pocket here that's going to be for the chapstick. The chapstick, as you can see, will go perfectly in there, and you can see it's really tight. That's why we use an F hook, because it's going to be a tight pocket for the chapstick to fit into. And we're going to do a border. So take your yarn, and for the pocket here, you're going to take and you're going to join to where the stitch marker is. So I can't really see my hands, but hopefully you can see okay. So you're going to take and you're just going to join right there where that stitch marker is, going through both sides, so it's through the front and the back of the pocket. But make sure you leave that open. So you're just doing the pocket. Oh, I was using my wrong end of the yarn. Goodness. Okay. It's kind of hard to like be on camera and make sure I'm doing things right. So I usually, and we have a cat that wants to join us. So I usually, when I join with a slip stitch and I'm working with a single crochet, I usually don't chain one. I just go ahead and do my single crochet because the chain one is right there. So you can go ahead and take the stitch marker out. You're working through the front row and the back row to form a pocket. So this is closing that up. So through the front and the back. So basically I'm just going to the end of each row because single crochet stitches are about, they're kind of squared. So they're about the same height as they are wide. So you can just put one single crochet in the end of each row and it'll even out. You can see how that's working along. We're still going through the front and the back all the way up to this next stitch marker. I'm going to go ahead and take this out. So you have an option here. You can either take and like crochet over this tail, or you could take and sew it in to weave in the ends. But so now we are just single crocheting at the end of each row to create a clean edge border. So I'll probably leave that end of the tail out so I can take and weave it back another way. When I leave my tails out, I like to have them go in one way and then go in the other way. That way they're nice and secured in there and they won't come out. If it's clothing, I do it back and forth a couple of times. So this is a very good beginner pattern because it is just using the same stitches, kind of get you familiar with sewing a little bit, working a border. If you have any questions, you can always comment below or send me an email. So this is the tail here. I'm just going to put that over. So that was a tail from our beginning. And I'm just going to work until the end here. So this is the row where I sewed across. So that's the last one I'm going to do. And I'm going to slip stitch to that first one. Actually, let me see what I did here. Oh, I didn't slip stitch to the first one. So either way, I noticed it kind of looked a little funny there, so I'm not going to slip stitch the first one. I'm going to take this single crochet out, and I'm going to slip stitch to this last row instead. There we go. It kind of gave it a little smoother edge. So let's see. Cut that. So I pulled that all the way out. Weave it through. Actually, I'm going to take that out too because since I'm not joining it in a circle, I'm going to take and weave this each in their own side. Okay, so we have one side done. I hope I'm making total sense to you all. Okay, do another slip knot, join to the other side. Well, since I work this way, we're going to join to the back. So you're going to join right next to where, and actually I'm going to work over, this is the tail from where I sewed that, the key ring down. So I'm actually going to just go over that tail. This is a total preference of mine. I don't really like to weave in, so I like to sew over as much as I can, or crochet over, I should say. So I joined, worked my first single crochet stitch, so this is me just working over that tail. So as you could see, I'm kind of just holding it down. Push it out of the way so I can weave it in now, and then just continue to work along the edge to do the border, working all the way around till we meet up with that stitch marker for the pocket. Okay, so we are up to that stitch marker. I'm going to go ahead and take it out. That way I can access those stitches a little easier. So work into this front one and then work into that back one. So again, just like we did the other side, we're closing up the pocket. We're going through the front and the back. Okay, so we're back to the bottom of that pocket. I'm going to single crochet through that last row, and then I'm going to slip stitch to finish off. So then cut that, pull it straight through, and then just take and pull it through the stitch. Okay, so now we're going to weave in all these ends and we are finished. So as you can see, we've got a little pocket here. You've got a nice wristlet that your wrist can fit through. Okay, so I'm not really a fan of weaving in ends, but they are necessary. So I'm going to take and put that through there, to smooth it out, and then I like to just take and go through the middle of these stitches and then back across. So do that to all of the ends that you have. So attach your needle, weave back and forth through it. And then I will see you when you're finished. All right, I have weaved in all of the ends, and then as you can see, my chapstick fits in there perfectly. I've had some questions about if it'll fall out. As you can see, it goes in there really snug. It's easy to get out, and it is always attached to your keyring. So this is a very fun beginner pattern that you can make, or if you do a lot of market events, these will sell really well. Fits perfectly on your wrist. Your keys can go on. So have fun making these and let me know what you think. Talk to you again soon.